So, there's this woman from Missouri, a Republican congresswoman, who cried, um, begging her colleagues to not pass a marriage equality bill. Now, this wasn't just to protect same-sex marriage, it was to protect interracial marriage, because the Congress finally figured out that the Supreme Court will easily get rid of at least one of those. Clarence Thomas might be willing to get rid of both, because this bill, which, let me see if I can find out what it's called. Let's see. Oh, for God's sakes. No, that's Respect for Marriage. Yeah. So it's called the Respect for Marriage Act, and it is to protect, like I said, same-sex and interracial marriage, because after the Dobbs decision and the extracurriculars that I think it was Clarence Thomas himself who added, people are now worried what is going to be protected. Now, this bill doesn't nationally make it illegal to stop these marriages from happening, but it says that if, say you get married in a state that allows for interracial or same-sex marriage, which at this moment is all states, they, because of federal law, what's the word I'm looking for? It trumps state laws. So, if you were to get married in a state that recognizes these marriages, even if you go to a state that doesn't allow for these marriages, it still has to recognize that marriage. So, it doesn't go far enough because Republican majorities can still decide that they want to outlaw interracial or same-sex marriage. This just makes sure that those who are already married can benefit no matter where they live. And this dipshit uses religious freedom, and not only that, she was crying, and her theatrics got more and more pronounced as her sentence wore on, claiming that it's a violation of religious freedom to even pass this act, that it's going to violate people's ability to be bigots. I'm sorry, I wasn't aware that that allowing same-sex or interracial marriage meant that you had to engage in an interracial same-sex marriage or something. Where are people getting that this is a religious freedom issue? Nobody, or at least nobody should, go to a religious institution and demand that they marry you, even though their doctrine is against it. That is a violation of the First Amendment. That is a violation of religious freedom. Because as of now, we have a separation of church and state, so yeah, that is a violation. So the First Amendment already says that religion is treated separately, so why is this even a thing? Now, at first, I thought she was your typical Republican, just, putting on the theatrics for their donors or whatever. Because, like I said in a previous video, most Republicans, once it affects them, once an issue affects them, they change their tune. Now, I say most because we already know that Ted Cruz does not give a shit that his daughter is bi. He still is anti-gay. Now I've just discovered that this woman, this Vicky Hartzler, who did the theatrics, has a gay nephew. Now, I didn't read to find out if she was unaware of whether he was gay, but I get the feeling she did, and she just doesn't care. She's just a hateful bitch. And because, okay, fine, you have a problem with gay people. How does that prevent them from living? It's basically like you're saying, I don't feel comfortable around gay people, so I should not have to deal with gay people ever. That's not how reality works. There's a lot of people I would rather not deal with on a daily basis. I still have to deal with them. Like bitches like this one. I mean, come on. Actually, as a tangent, there was an establishment in Richmond, Virginia, who did deny a bigoted Christian group from having dinner there at their restaurant because of being anti-abortion and anti-gay. Which, yes, if that's the case, then yeah. And I'm sure that this woman would go out of her mind. Now, this one took place in Virginia. She lives in Missouri. But I'm sure that if an establishment were to say, we do not, our religious beliefs dictate that we cannot serve you because you're a bigot, I'm sure she'd be the first one to go flip her lid and go absolutely apeshit that her poor little Christianity is being persecuted, her poor little religious beliefs. Because these people do not care about other people's beliefs. They want their beliefs to be the law of the land, which, I'm sorry, if you read the entire First Amendment, religious liberty means liberty for all religions, not just yours. So yeah, that was just pathetic to watch. Pathetic to watch, pathetic to think about. I mean, this woman is just pathetic all around. And I have no problem saying that because there's absolutely nothing about this situation that you can find that you can look at this woman and say she's a good person. No, she's not. If you truly believe that, gay marriage is wrong, that interracial marriage is wrong, fine. Don't get married to someone outside of your race or someone of the same sex, of the same gender. Easy. Unless you are in a situation where you are a pastor of a church or a rabbi of a synagogue or whatever. Unless you are in that position where, you're a religious person and someone an interracial couple or a same-sex couple come up to you wanting to marry, unless you are in that group, whose religious freedom is being violated exactly? I mean, she has nothing to say about this unless she's saying that she as a federal official does not want to marry, does not want to officiate those type of weddings. Well, I can honestly say nobody would want you to. So, again, yeah, we have a separation of church and state. We went over this already a few years ago with Kim Davis, who was a county clerk in Kentucky, and she lost her job. Actually, she went to jail for contempt of court for not wanting to issue licenses, marriage licenses to same-sex couples because it violated her religious beliefs. I'm sorry. This is your job. So you don't want to do certain parts of your job? Quit your job. That's just the way it goes. Everybody has parts of their job that they don't like to do or like less than others. That but you still do it. It's either that or lose your job. It's really, really simple. So, yeah, I just am puzzled this by these theatrics, especially since it includes interracial marriage. So, is this woman saying that she thinks interracial marriage is wrong? Or does she have gay on the brain so much that she ignored that part? Because it could easily be that she's just bigoted towards one part of that law. But I wouldn't be surprised if she was bigoted towards both of them. I really wouldn't. Because people like her nephew, who it turns out is gay, is calling her a homophobe. It's because people are gravitating towards one part of the law and not the second part. Not once in her statement, in her teary-eyed statement, did she say that she's talking about the gay marriage part, or rather than the interracial marriage part. So, as far as we know, she's bigoted towards both. So, yeah, she's definitely one of the few Republicans who, even though this is something that's happening towards her, she has a gay nephew. I'm going to assume that they aren't very close. Like I said, I haven't read up on this, but I'm going to assume they're not very close. Or if they were, they aren't anymore. But yeah, that she's one of the few Republicans who actually is so hateful that she doesn't give a damn that a member of her own family is gay and that this is hurtful towards them. I think that's all I have for this video, so I will see you guys next time.